Delighted to say I'm joined by Kevin Maguire, who's the associate editor of the Mail newspaper, and Andrew Pearce from the Daily Mail, of course, columnist of the paper. Gentlemen, thank you very much indeed to talk about Conservative Party conference. We're kind of nearing the ends, aren't we? A day left.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. What's your sense? What's your sense? End of conference.
If any party's coming to an end, it's this lot, I'm telling you. I think it's been a mission accomplished for the Tories. There's nothing gone wrong. It's quite low key. The big event is, of course, tomorrow. The Prime Minister, he'll be fizzing, he'll be charismatic, he'll be lots of boosterism, lots of optimism, something I'm afraid Keir Starmer fails to radiate on any level. And even the conference hall will be rigged to suit the Prime Minister. So currently when you see some of the big speakers like Liz Truss, the Foreign Secretary, one of the worst speakers in the Cabinet, has to be said, giving her speech in a much smaller arena, fewer chairs, but by tomorrow it'll be extended so the Prime Minister looks like he's speaking to
the hall
the
we're
masses.
using here is quite small, isn't it?
Oh, it's like a room you'd get in a Holiday Inn.
Yeah.
I've been to larger crowds at village fetes than I hear, but the stalls will be pulling in more money. That's what it's all about, making money. But the Conservative Party, they're in power. They think they're going to win again. Probably would, unless there's an event that either derails the government or Labour just have a great moment that propels them forward. But you come around here, and it has been flat, but maybe that is intentionally so.
But isn't it strange, I was talking to the Prime Minister, that it's the same with Labour last week, almost detachment though from an element of reality. We've had fuel prices in the last couple of weeks. I was saying to the Prime Minister, we're now paying people 30 quid an hour to pick broccoli because we've got not enough workers. We're going to have higher inflation, higher prices, maybe mortgage rates, interest rates might go up, energy prices are going to go up, and we've got tax increases coming. It's going to be a real pinch on people's money.
Yeah, and the tax rise has gone down very badly here because the Tory party is a low tax party, a tax cutting party. Rishi Sunak, the Chancellor, tried to be fiscally responsible in his speech yesterday, talking about we can't cut taxes until the debt's being reduced, but that this country is in huge debt. But what I think's emerged this week, whether it's by design or by accident, there's a big divide now between the Tories and Labour about how to deal with the vacancies in the jobs market. 1 million apparently, although a lot of people are coming off furlough, so that might help. Labour's approach, bring in mass migration again. Tories washing their hands of that idea, saying it's going to have to pay people more money. That will put inflation up again.
You've missed the 10,000 visas, haven't you? But the big divide is really between the real world and what happens in conferences, and this is just an alcohol-fuelled bubble. To some extent, Labour was last week. It's about time broccoli pickers and other vegetable pickers got paid a decent rate rather than getting.
But that also means that we then have to pay more for a broccoli.
We do.
Well, I'm sure you can afford it if you don't buy carrots instead.
But people on lower incomes.
None of us here would go and work pick broccoli for the rates of pay they're being offered. But we've been exploiting cheap Eastern European labour, and a lot of them went home because of the pandemic, also because of Brexit, and it's a realignment now.
There's no doubt you're paying off, you'll get the jobs filled. But I think what's going to happen with Boris Johnson, of course it's just his nature. He's going to be optimistic. He could fall in a cesspit and he'd come up pretending he's smelling of roses. He is going to be so optimistic, saying everything is fantastic, wages are soaring, when they're not. Everything is good. The problem for him is people outside know that's not the case. Prices are going up. They might be queuing for petrol still in London and the South East. They will be paying more national insurance soon. Those 5 million people losing their universal credit include a lot of low-paid workers who graft, get up early, stay out late. They graft, but they're on low wages, rely on that. So him being incredibly optimistic is not going to align with people's real lives. And I think that is a problem this winter for him. And he's ahead in the polls now, he's doing quite well, but people will tire of that optimism if they see it's not reflected in their own lives.
And isn't there an element then, Andrew, just of what Kevin says, a bit of a complacency in the Conservative Party at the moment?
I don't think the Tories are ever complacent, actually, because they are amazed, talk to people here, that they're still ahead in the polls after 11 years. We're now on, our third Tory Prime Minister in 11 years. No, they're not complacent. They saw Keir Starmer make a slight improvement last week, but he's no Jeremy Corbyn. He's going to be a more difficult opponent to fight in the next election if he ever discovers a personality or some charisma.
There's a lot of arrogance around here. And I think that is a lot of them, I think, are complacent. And all political careers end in failure. We saw that with David Cameron, we saw that with Theresa May. It'll happen for Johnson, and I think when it happens for Johnson, it'll happen very quickly and very abruptly. I'm not saying it's going to be this year or even next year, but it will happen, and he'll get it wrong. Because going around being jolly and everything's great, well, it's not in my life. I'm seeing my standard of living's going down. You say wages are really going up. My wages aren't going up. I'm paying more tax now. What am I getting for my tax I'm paying to you? I still can't
the
get
tax thing
petrol.
could play bad for
Yes, it
themselves.
will, but they'll also say, who do you trust on tax more, the Tory party or the Labour party? They're not going to trust the Labour party on tax, trust me. But, I talked to some Red Wall MPs. I went to reception with them the other day. They said the government isn't as popular, but Boris still is. He is still the ace in the pack for the Conservative Party, which is why the conference is going pretty well for them and why they're looking forward to tomorrow, because he is still, Kevin can't bear it, he is he's a popular leader.
You're right, I can't bear it, but I won't deny it, his popularity. The only cabinet minister he gets worried about, I think, is Rishi Sunak, the Chancellor, and his speech, which he didn't mention universal credit because he's cutting it. His speech was setting out a platform for when he hopes to replace Johnson, whenever that is.
Which he himself part of that.
He is the heir apparent at the moment, but as you know, in the Tory party, the favourites often don't win. Just think David Davis back in 2005, it was David Cameron, and we thought Boris would win back in 2016, and it was Theresa May. That went well.
Johnson doesn't like tall poppies. However relaxed he pretends he is, he doesn't like rivals.
Andrew Pearce, Kevin Maguire, as always, gentlemen, thank you very much indeed for your insight here at conference. Right, we'll just take a quick break on GB News. Up next, we're going to speak to the Security and Borders Minister about the Home Secretary's speech. Before that, let's cross over to the Met Office for the very latest weather. It's not great, is it, on this Tuesday afternoon?